me just adjust this light a second. Kind of bright there. Just get Insta going as well. Stand by. About as still as I can be. All right, hope you're okay. Apologies for the 23-minute delay tonight, Friday the 6th of May. I trust you're all well. Something of a new start for me. Like I say, the 480th live stream tonight, and my sincere gratitude to anyone that's taken an interest in this channel over the last, gosh, when did I start this? I started during lockdown, so that was March 2020, and I started about half a year into lockdown. That's when I began this for purely indulgent, cathartic reasons, just for myself. I started streaming literally for the act, the discipline of streaming. Anyway, so here we are on the 480th episode of TrueHouse, and as you can tell, it's simply monologuing, talking head, sans spiraling, and sans script. Should I tell you what sans means? It means without, minus, but I like the word sans. And in an internet age where many/most people online are spiraling, one of the sort of worst kept secrets about anyone being online these days is that we do see a very high hit rate of people frankly spiraling. And if I can just have a brief sort of note on that, whatever you're into, and like I say, what I'm going to try and do, and in fact let me just quickly tell you why, and then I'm going to give you examples of areas where we're seeing so much of this online, and that has kind of motivated me more to go the other direction. I frankly don't want to do what I'm seeing a lot of other people doing. I'm a firm believer in individualism. So, and I hate plagiarism. A dear friend of mine, a chap I consider to be one of 2 or 3 mates that I've got in my life, who I love to bits, and I think there's, like I said, there's literally 2 or 3 blokes in my life who I just feel incredibly good mates, and just that freaking honesty. Anyway, so this friend of mine, Tom, he because sometimes some of us can't take criticism or even just constructive, not criticism for criticism's sake, but just someone saying, hey, here's a thought, have you tried this? You know what I mean? And I think we humans are pretty poor at we've all heard expressions like, the shit sandwich, where you deliver some, bad news, and in the middle is the good positive news, and then at the end a bit more bad news. And it's something we learned in management when I was involved in running health clubs many moons ago. And my reliable, cheap. Anyway, so yeah, Tom said to me, because one thing we've been relying on throughout the lockdown is, and it's actually something I thoroughly enjoy, I don't know if you guys do this practice, is just simply using an app on your desired unit, and something like WhatsApp, and just leave great long monologuing sort of voicemails. It's quite fun actually. So been going back and forth with this guy, and like I say, he does it for a living. What I mean is, like he's involved in the creative side of, physically makes films and videos, and I strongly advise you all to visit his channel. His channel is called TreaderTube, Treader as in treading, Treader, because his name is Tom Reeder, spelled Reader. So T Reader, Tom Reader, Treader Tube. So that's the channel, Treader Tube. He's a very experienced outdoorsman, what I call an up and down outdoorsman, a true athlete, insofar as he's very adept and proficient, professional in going up that way, as in mountains, and scaling them, and going down that way into the ocean. So I have a huge respect for Tom's ability to do that, because I know even if my body was able to do that, there'd be an element of me shitting my pants, frankly. But he does it with the camera, because he acquired the skills years ago of performing in front and behind the camera. Can work it both ways. He's very, very good at physically creating films, videography, and has worked with some very good people. So I trust him. Because A, he's a mate, and he's a mate that doesn't lie to me, which I think a lot of, and B, he does this YouTube shit for a living. So a guy like me, I'm going to listen to him. And he said to me, Justin, you've really sort of ran the other direction, because I want to explain to anyone that's interested to know, and I hope someone is, that my reasons for, after 479 live streams, I'm trying to do really, I don't like the expression, but going back to my roots, and from here on in, my agreement, my bargain with myself, and hopefully you guys will support it, is that I speak not purely, but certainly extensively, certainly much more than I have been, about what I did from 1990 till 2017. What I did from 1990 to 2017 was essentially my entire career was in physical culture, and I give it that sort of overarching kind of heading, because the type of physical culture I was in was literally 50-50. So one half of me, and being a bit of a sort of geek, I really put all of myself into something when I do it, in corporate fitness. So one half of me was balls deep in corporate fitness, at a time in the 90s, a really great growth spurt for the industry here in the UK, and obviously abroad in America and all over Europe. But also I'm a Brit, and we had clubs like Fitness First, and David Lloyd and Virgin, and these clubs really sort of spawned in the early 90s and just went on this trajectory and grew very rapidly. There's a great period of sort of rapid growth in the early to mid 90s, going into the millennium, and a right time, right place, enough desire, I was there. And at the same time, certainly chronologically, and if we're looking at the sort of, again, the eras in the physical culture, and like I say, physical culture, guys, I'm talking about, again, broad. So think about Jane Fonda, your Karen Voigts and Jane Fondas, and then your Arnie Schwarzeneggers over here, do you know what I mean? And your Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman. So everything that is synonymous with, what we would call proper bodybuilding, and then of course that proper full-on corporate fitness. I was balls deep in both, and I have no regrets other than my poor decision making. I made one poor decision in corporate fitness, and one poor decision, well, two poor decisions in bodybuilding. So, and they're things that I will speak about. Getting into specificity, I'm just going to run tonight scriptless. Sam's script. I've been doing, like I say, 479. Tonight's the 480th version of you. You can tell just by watching me that this is absolutely scriptless. But Tom said to me, "Look, Justin, start perhaps writing it down," and I would just literally have, just slightly off camera there, a script going. Because I've got anecdotes, and I've got anecdotes from the corporate side and from bodybuilding, and because I call this channel TrueHouse, the agreement that I have with you, I'm very conscious about the size of this channel, and my dent tiny, infinitesimally small dent in this, ocean of YouTube, etc., and Instagram. However, what I've got to say and what I want to say moving forward, it's not, oh, here's a story, and to, it's embellished, and exaggerated, and this, really, really shined up, really buffed up, and let me use a little bit of distortion and like I say, embellishment and bullshit and plagiarism. Nick a bit from, because a lot of people do this. Something you'll see on Rogan a lot. If you're a fan like me of Joe Rogan, people either intentionally or subconsciously, that they will forget a story and they'll relay a story, quite frankly, how it didn't play out. But what I've got is and again, I'm not bigging myself up, but I've got an uncanny ability to convey things exactly as they went down. The stories that I've got, the anecdotes. I mean, these days, I was raised to believe an anecdote meant a true story, and to my mind, an anecdote, something that anecdotally that happened to you, should only be true. But sadly, we're in a time where people's anecdotes are distorted, and of course, my anecdotes will be the other way. They'll be painfully true. I think really I could easily put a motto up where I'd say I'd rather offend you with I'd rather offend you with my, I'm just trying to think of the best way to say it really. I'd rather offend somebody with my honesty than dishonesty. I'd rather have your feelings hurt, with extreme truth, rather than a half truth or an outright lie. So look, again, this is going back to Tom's suggestion, and my feelings are, I've been running in the opposite direction from what I did in my efforts to reboot, to redefine, and I think we all do this. I mean, I turned 50 in January, and obviously I know I look a bit older than that, but I'm a midlifer now, but I've got, like I said, it's 27-year experience in the industry, from 1990 until 2017. So I officially retired, 5 years ago in 2017, and I've got lots and lots of stories for you. So really tonight I want to let you know that that's happening, and I'm going to try and I will stick to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I will do my best to be a bit more punctual, because my track record of punctuality is pretty poor. Case in point, tonight, starting at 8:23, once I'd got a few things sorted out here, because my biggest Achilles heel is my lack of tech proficiency. I'm not too adept with the tech, but I'm even sitting here tonight, the more I kind of try this shoe on for size, the more I think actually this is going to really be, certainly for me, it's going to be, for want of a better word, nice for me to share with you, or anyone that cares to listen and hopefully learn, about things that really happened, and I'm going to give you a first-hand perspective. So there's a couple of rules. If I'm talking about an incident, something that happened in a particular time, place, with certain people, what I will sensibly apply is a little bit of politic, insofar as if I feel it's probably not too bright of me to mention a specific person's name, I might just give their initials, or I might just say, hey, this person's, or the person might be deceased as well. You've got to remember that, guys. There's a lot of, sadly, a lot of my friends are no longer here. They've since passed away, and one thing that's sadly very prevalent, is pretty ubiquitous. Can I say it? Ubiquitous these days. Sadly, in the last kind of 24 or 30 months, sort of 2.5 years in this sort of ridiculous COVID era, is a high rate of bodybuilders popping off, frankly. But even before any of that, I buried 6 friends from the game, as it were. I will expand on my medical, my health stuff, because it's listen to me stuttering. I will talk very candidly. One thing I won't do, guys, I won't sugarcoat anything. Like I say, in fact, I could probably, you know, sort of an exercise in sort of sloganeering. I'm going to try and um, compartmentalize this a little bit. I'd rather I'd rather offend you with sort of delivering brutal truth, bordering on someone saying, sort of what I'm prepared to do is to say things not to be controversial for controversy's sake, because I can't stand that. There's people out there online. There's a huge amount of people online that literally, you know, over egg it. They really go to town on frankly bullshitting to sensationalize something, to make things sound bigger and better than they really are or were. So the rules are, like I say, I'd rather you be offended with me delivering extreme truth than what I just won't lie. I just won't lie. Hence the name TrueHouse. And if I don't know, I'll damn well say I don't know. Um, if I get asked a question that's above my pay grade, and at the risk of sounding conceited, I know my shit. Now that's not an arrogant statement, but it's not a statement of absolutism either. It's like it would be very um, inappropriate and very arrogant of me to say, actually, I know it all. Um, to which somebody could say, what? See, what is that include all pharmacology and all endocrinology and all anatomy and all physiology? And really, Justin, what you know, what? So we can just bombard you with every, of course not. No, I'm not a medical doctor. And I also wasn't an IFBB professional bodybuilder. I didn't get my coveted pro card. I was a good 6'5" bodybuilder, and I'm still 6'5", and obviously I'm not a bodybuilder anymore. I certainly don't look like a bodybuilder anymore. I'm a larger than average human, probably, but my physique hasn't gone away entirely, but it's not obviously the physique it was a decade ago. So I'm kind of in the back of my head, I'm thinking, God, I've got loads I'm dying to share. Chomping or champing at the bit. And I'll occasionally do that, just that, where I literally, because of my general weirdness, I will literally have to stop it and say things like this. Is it chomping at the bit or champing at the bit?
According to Quick and Dirty Tips trademark, the original phrase is, indeed, champing at the bit, but chomping at the bit emerged in America in the 1930s according to the Oxford English Dictionary, and chomp has overtaken champ in common use.
See, again, the weirdo in me will stop a stream, unless I was really balls deep in the story, and find stuff out like that. What was it again? Is the expression champing at the bit or chomping at the bit?
According to Quick and Dirty Tips trademark, the original phrase is, indeed, champing at the bit, but chomping at the bit emerged in America in the 1930s according to the Oxford.
Interesting. Chomping on second. It is chomping. Chomp, champ or chomp? I'll do a quick screenshot of that. Well, it's from Portland, Oregon, so take it with a. Yeah, the phrase is champing at the bit, but they've changed it to chomping at the bit. Champ is older, but chomp has overtaken champing, and there you go. Sorry, just things like that. But I go with chomp. So look, guys, like I say, I've taken on board what my true friend has said. I'm not going to bring shame to anyone or embarrassment to anyone. If I have stories about people that I really care about, I will clear them first. I do have stories about dead friends. I can't sugarcoat what's going to happen the next year. Quite frankly, there will be some stories that are very upsetting. There are stories I have that do involve death and death by drugs, and you know, that's that. And like I said, I will be tactful. I don't want to bring embarrassment or shame to anyone, anything, any person. I won't do it. I won't do it. My late father's um, business, a place which I currently am not um, attending and I dearly miss. Um, I won't bring embarrassment, humiliation, or shame to that firm. Okay, I ain't gonna do it, but I will talk about things that went on in my 27-year career. And like I say, there's no need for the sort of we can thank modernity for the time we're in, which is frank a time where there's a lot of people online just fibbing. You know, one of my favorite people, Owen Benjamin, who's a very good comedian, and he does this for a living. He's an actual comedian, and he can sing and play the piano and do things I can't. But he's a height supremacist like me. I'm 6'5", but he's 6'7.5", 6'8", and he says, I think his catchphrase or his slogan is, I might be wrong, but I'm not lying, and I go with that. You know, someone might come back to me and go, actually, Just, you got that wrong, buddy. And I'll be like, oh, sorry, I'll do better research next time, but I didn't lie. I won't lie. I will not lie. Something my father did teach me is to not lie. And again, we are living. You see, what I've tried to do, this is something that my friend Tom said, for reasons that I don't need to go into right now, and as if you can't tell already, I battle with my own verbosity. I'm very, very verbose. I talk, everyone tells me I talk too much, but I am hardwired that way. I've tried to edit on the fly. I've tried to curate myself, and all that on the move. And I'm not very good at doing it, and I just talk a lot. So hey, that's if you don't like that, then frankly, bugger off. I'm aware about sort of cadence and conversational cadence and that talking tempo. So one thing I won't do is to be super bloody annoying and just leave you with cliffhangers, or like I say, today is really about just fleshing it out and letting you know what I want to do moving forward. And I'll start it proper from Monday. But it's really, the other thing is, I think there's a requirement for this, because what's the word I'm looking for? Is it preponderance? Preponderance meaning.
Here's the definition of preponderance: the quality or fact of being greater in number, quantity, or importance.
Yeah. Example of how to use preponderance in a sentence.
Here's a summary from sentences. Your dictionary. Preponderance sentence example. There was a surprising preponderance.
Like I say, I will do annoying things like that. I mean, there's no one there tonight, so it doesn't matter, does it? I wouldn't do it if I had 6 people watching, and I'd get it along. I'd kick the ball along. But yeah, there's a great preponderance. There you go. What I want to use it. There's a great preponderance of people online who are doing these videos, like this, but obviously shorter, and they're frankly lying. They're telling bodybuilding stories and about people, well-known bodybuilders, whether they're alive or dead, and they're just untrue. Because here's a caveat you'll get from me, is that I won't talk about things that I didn't physically witness. It's really simple, really simple. I will not speak to or about a person or a place or a thing or an instant that I was next door to. So let's just say I'm giving a story about the Olympia, and the fitness expo that accompanies the Olympia. So anyone's been to Vegas for the Olympia weekend, there's always a great sort of, well, there was a great expo that accompanies it. And anyway, I have got some dark and dirty tales from that era. Now, I won't speak about things that where I was in the room next door, because then it means I'm only hearing it, or so and so told me. So one thing you're never going to hear leave my gob is, oh yeah, when I was this time in Los Angeles, right, and this bloke said to me, no, because that's not something I saw. That's not something I felt. That's not something I was in on. Are you with me? So the agreement, the TrueHouse guarantee, is that I'm not going to give a story about something that's occurred in this, this realm of whatever you want to call it, the pageantry, the sport, the subject of bodybuilding, physical culture, corporate fitness, all that I wasn't privy to, that I wasn't in the bloody room. I won't do it because it's then open to speculation, interpretation, exaggeration, etc. There's a lot of that online. There's a lot of people online who will literally give these, I remember the time when, and they just weren't there. They weren't there. I can't do that. So the agreement I have now with you guys, if you want to join me on this journey, oh, I hate that, is that I'm going to start from Monday properly, giving these stories from the archives of bodybuilding, okay? And I consider it lore, L-O-R-E. So absolutely true, absolutely real. It's things I witnessed firsthand, things I did, said, felt, was involved. That's it. I will not. Excuse my French, because I'm trying to be good with the swearing now on YouTube, but I will not fucking lie. I will not. I don't know why I'm making a thing of this, because I haven't so far. The last, look at me with fluff on me. Yeah, I'm not going to do myself or anyone any favours by lying, because then reputationally people are entitled to say a year from now, oh, have you seen that Justin online? Fucking bloke's lying, just lying. That's good, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's a lot of that about, guys. There's a lot of that about. So I don't need to attack anyone. I'm not going to be that catty. But suffice to say, there are people out there regularly practicing the art of lying, whether their purview or whether their business is, advising on gear, advising on food, subs. It's very trendy. It's very sought after these days. The PT and coaching market. You've got to remember, I spent 27 years teaching. Well, no, that's not true. 25 actually. See, there you go. There you go. Because I was just going to say, it was from 1990, but no, it wasn't. It was really 92. I didn't. It took me 2 years to get qualified. I didn't just walk into a gym off the street and go, I'm a personal trainer. I spent 2 years cleaning mirrors. Again, I will tell the bloody truth. And I was a doorman. I was a skateboarder. Like I say, just you might as well use this as a bit of a explanatory backtrack, really. Backstory being, what we're now 30 minutes in almost. I'll wrap it up in a minute actually, but just as a sort of as a preamble, call it an intro. Provincial town here in the south of England, a place called Bournemouth, parochial mentality, small town and all that. And I was a skateboarder who did some martial arts and, did ice skating and liked ice hockey and all that, BMXing, roller skating, skateboarding, all that, and loved martial arts and all that stuff we did. And did some door work, got on the doors at a young age, and the skateboard was put down in favour of the gym. And that was, like I say, that was 1990 when I was 18, 19. And then for the next 27 years, just that's it. I got deep, man. Yeah. And my bodybuilding career was over on the 1st of April 2007 in a very, very, very unpleasant altercation. Again, I will leave no stone unturned. I will tell the truth about injuries, incidents, fights, mistakes, um, imposters, pretenders, bullshitters, people that were truly malevolent and Machiavellian. And I'm not doing this to come out like some squeaky clean, oh, wasn't I good? Because I was not good.
Here are the top search results.
Well, I was not squeaky clean, far from squeaky clean. But yeah, like I say, guys, I hope this sort of thinking exercise tonight. That's all I'm doing, really. I'm essentially just kind of giving you sorry, I've got so much bits on me. Yeah, like I say, just consider this tonight's stream as literally third person Justin saying, right, guys, this is the direction I'm going in. I've tried, pretty hard the last 4 or 5 years to run away from what I did for the best part of 3 decades in an effort to redefine myself or I don't know, really, just didn't, whatever. But I'm not Douglas Murray and I'm not Jordan Peterson, and you know what I mean. It's like, and I love those guys. I'm a fanboy of those guys, but there's no point in me saying, oh yeah, I'm a political pundit now. I'm just, that makes me another arse online with an opinion, doesn't it? But what I am qualified to talk about is the career that I had for nearly 3 decades and what I saw in my allocated time, and it's colourful. You've been warned. I mean, it's not dull, guys. I'm not, like I said, I don't need to over egg this. I don't need to. It needs no embellishment. No, it doesn't. It's the stories I have for you are and will be brutally true, brutally honest. And hopefully you've got the sort of wherewithal to go, oh yeah, that's pretty heavy, that's pretty dark. And just to hopefully get it, really, hopefully just to enjoy it and to get something out of it, whether it's a laugh or some education, some knowledge, or a lot of it is cautionary tale stuff, guys. Gotta say there's a hefty portion of my experiences that would now be best described as cautionary tales. So that'll do. That's 33 minutes. I'm going to bugger off and like I say, leave you well. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope this was okay. I will do my best to tighten things up. That's my biggest critique, is that I just blah 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 blah, 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 and then someone's gonna be like, well, get to the point, mate. So yeah, I will get more specific on Monday. So just like I say, it's a big one, big explain away tonight, really. The why I'm doing it, why I want to do it, and why I think and hope it's going to be for the greater good. All right, guys. So I'm going to shut up now and leave you. And I wish you all a good weekend and a peaceful, happy, chilled weekend. And I will see you here 8 o'clock on Monday the 9th. It will be. Okay, for TrueHouse, different type of TrueHouse where it's super true, but it's going to be from my 27-year, and to be very specific, it's all out of that toy box. It's all out of those archives. It's that library of bodybuilding lore. All right, guys, big love. Be well. Same time, same place and face on Monday night. This coming Monday. That will be the 9th of May from 8 o'clock onwards on YouTube and on Insta. All right, guys, take care.